After 2 weeks in the British Isles, the HotelPlanner Tour is in Finland for the Vierumäki Finnish Challenge, supported by Finnish Golf Union, a fixture on the schedule for more than 2 decades. Just 90 minutes north of Helsinki, the Cooke course at Vierumäki has been home to this tournament since 2015. Stretching over 7,000 metres, this par 72 course is set in rolling countryside. It's surrounded by beautiful lakes, and with its generous fairways, it's been a proven stage for low scoring year after year. It's all part of the Vierumäki Resort, the sport institute of Finland's crown jewel. Complete with world-class ice hockey facilities that have trained some of the game's global greats. The perfect spot then to catch up with our featured HotelPlanner Tour Player of the Week with quite the CV.
I think the one that stands out most that watched my career is the second place in the Masters. I never really thought I could play on the PGA Tour, and to win on it was quite surreal for me. Something you used to dream about as a kid. The highs are very high and the lows are quite low, and you're just trying to find something to grab onto to try the next week or to make you come back to where you are. Hi, I'm Jonas Blixt from Sweden, and I'm a professional golfer. I'm from an area that's known for ice hockey and motorsports. So like growing up, a lot of guys want to be hockey players. I played till I was 17. Not too much ice hockey for me after that, considering I lived in Florida for 20 years. Not too many ice rinks. It's been more of a TV thing for me lately.
After his college days at Florida State University, Blixt turned pro, and in 2012 he earned his PGA Tour card. Just 19 starts later, he claimed his first professional title at the Fries.com Open.
The first win stands out for me because I had my family there and friends, and I grew up wanting to be a hockey player. And I got a lot worse at hockey and a lot better at golf.
In 2014, Jonas qualified for his first Masters appearance at Augusta National. He would end the week as the only player with 4 subpar rounds, finishing tied second alongside Jordan Spieth and 3 shots behind Bubba Watson.
People ask me how was the back nine on Sunday, and I barely remember because I don't remember any people. I don't remember. I just remember what I wanted to do. I guess I was lucky that way. I could keep such a focus at that time. But it's a very special place, and it's treacherous many times, but it's beautiful. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, and I feel like I still got some game in there. Haven't been proving that at all lately, especially since my back surgery. But I still feel like there's times when I feel like I can play some really good golf, and I want to explore that and give it a chance at least one more year, and then see what happens.
His last win came in 2017, and now, for the first time in nearly 20 years, he's back on the HotelPlanner Tour, grateful for the chance to compete again.
I think it's good for the game. I think it produces better players, which is a better fan experience and better to watch. I also think the tour has gotten a lot better since I played it my first time in 2008. How good the players are out here now compared to, this is almost 20 years ago now. It's very important to have a feeder tour. The hope is to play well, finish as a top 20, to get my card back on the DP Tour. And I grew up watching the DP Tour, and to play it was a dream for me, and to win on it, that's what I want. That's what my goal is. I've never done it. That's what drives me.
From the ice to the fairways. Thursday afternoon, and Blixt teed off in round one of the Vierumäki Finnish Challenge, supported by Finnish Golf Union. He was paired up alongside Road to Mallorca rankings leader Josh Berry and Finland's very own Lauri Ruska. It didn't take long for the 41-year-old to get into his stride. A solid 3-wood into the back fringe at the par 5 first. And while the eagle putt would slip by, it left a simple tap-in birdie to get his day going. After securing par on the second, he found the front edge of the green at 3 with his drive, following up with a fine lag putt that set up another birdie. A few further pars followed before Blixt landed a sublime tee shot on the 7th green. He would hold the subsequent putt for his 3rd birdie of the day. His smooth sailing around the front 9 finished fittingly with another birdie on the par 5 9th. Then at the short par 4 13th, a monster eagle putt. Though that came up short, he made sure of the birdie to move to 5 under. There was the odd bump in the road. A huge birdie putt just slipped out at 14. It was soon followed by his first bogey of the day at 15. But it didn't dampen spirits too much. Overall, a strong start for the Swede, underlined by a birdie on the last, allowing him to sign for a 5 under par 67 to finish the first day tied 12th.
Pretty good off the tee, really good on the green, pretty poor most of the time with my approaches. I'm walking off the golf course pretty disappointed with my iron game today, but still shots 5 under. And I think something I did wrong through my years on tour is that I grinded too hard and I got tired, and coming weekends I would get really tired. So I'm trying not to grind as hard, but I'm still going to go to the range and try to figure out my iron game for tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Spaniard Alvaro Hernandez Cabazuela was making hay, firing an impressive 9 under par 63 to close out round 1 as the sole leader. Day 2 in Finland saw an early morning start for Blixt as he set out to build on Thursday's strong display. A bogey at his opening hole, the 10th, wasn't in the script, but undeterred, at the 11th, a crisp fairway shot to 12 feet set up the perfect response. And in it went, to get him back to level for the day. After Thursday's serene progress, it was a choppy opening to round 2. There was another setback at the par 5 12th, before the Swede bounced back once again. After taking on the drivable par 4 13th over water with a sensational shot to around 10 feet, that eagle was rolled in to move the Swede to 6 under for the tournament. It was turning into a roller coaster front 9, but the eagle seemed to steady things, and he bagged a further birdie to maintain the momentum. A run of pars began his back 9, but a double bogey at the 4th saw him step backwards, before his experience shone through. The 41-year-old rallying with 3 birdies in his final 4 holes. A colourful 3 under par 69 left Blixt at 8 under and very much in the mix he was tied 10th heading into the weekend.
Certain shots were good and a lot of shots were not that good, and I managed to save myself quite a bit. I don't think the tee shots were as good today. Irons were even poorer today than yesterday. I just feel like I need a break right now. Try to figure out something kind of major for tomorrow to solve it.
Elsewhere, George Mason fired a 6-under par 66 to take charge at the halfway stage in Finland. In a day with plenty of highlights, this was perhaps the pick of them. His approach setting up one of 8 birdies to see the Englishman to 13 under, one clear of Anton Albers with 2 rounds left. Coming up, we rewind 2 years to a remarkable week for one of Finland's own and a truly unforgettable round. And we'll find out who earned top spot by the finish in Finland. See you after the break. Welcome back to the HotelPlanner Tour. We're in Finland this time for the 16th edition of the Vierumäki Finnish Challenge, supported by Finnish Golf Union. England's George Mason led the way with a 1-shot advantage at the halfway stage, leaving it wide open heading into the weekend. Germany's Anton Albers and Scotland's David Law were among those in a packed chasing group, all with their eyes on the prize. With so many in with a shout, much could still change over the next 36 holes. Describing some of the key moments on moving day, here's Josh Antman.
Leader George Mason had a nervy start to day 3, dropping 2 shots in his first 3 holes. This was him on the 7th. Great tee shot here. Englishman then went on and steadied the ship with 3 birdies in the next 7, but a tough finish saw him drop 5 shots in the last 4 holes, slipping back to 9 under. Last week's winner, Oyen Gillamondigi, full of confidence, he did seem to find trouble on the 9th hole, but a superb pitch for his 3rd shot set up a birdie putt for the Frenchman. From about 12 feet out, rolling this one home, getting himself to 11 under par at the end of the day. The night seemed to be a favourite in round 3. Alvaro Hernandez Cabazuela with this superb eagle putt. Never looked like it was going to get there, but it did. That moved him to within 1 of the lead, but a couple of drop shots on the back 9 saw him finish at 10 under par. Ever steady Jonas Blixt. Rounds of 67 and 69 for the 41-year-old Swede. Showed all his experience here with a lovely chip on 14, helping him save par. He'd keep grinding on Saturday and finish just 2 off the lead. Still very much in the mix heading into Sunday. Plenty of birdies in the meantime for Nick Carlson, with the American producing the round of the day in Finland. How about this? 60 feet on the 7th. Absolutely delighted was Carlson. An incredible 10 birdies on the day as he signed for a stunning 9 under par 65. It's a game of 2 halves really for Scotland's David Law. 2 over through 10. But then he did seem to find his rhythm. Birdies at 13 and this lovely chip in at 15 moved him to 11 under par. And suddenly he was back in the hunt. Andoni Echenike quietly was making his move up the leaderboard, impressing the crowd with a stretch of birdies on the final 3 holes. He narrowly missed for eagle here at 18, but he would tap in for birdie to post a 66, and he would take the lead into the final day. But Law wasn't done. Another birdie at 16, and this confident stroke on 18 dropped for a final birdie of the day. It would see him in the final group on Sunday, chasing his 2nd HotelPlanner Tour title of the season.
So after 3 rounds, it was Andoni Echenike setting the pace at 14 under. But with America's Nick Carlson and the experience of David Law and Jonas Blixt in close proximity, it would be all to play for come Sunday.
I'm very proud of myself to stay patient, and at the end, on the last few holes, I managed well and I made a few putts, so that was good. Yeah. It's good to have opportunities, and I'll try to do my best tomorrow.
Two years ago at this event, Lauri Ruska produced a week to remember. He became just the fourth player in HotelPlanner Tour history to break 60 when he produced a stunning opening round of 59.
A sensational round of golf from Lauri Ruska.
The course seems to be in a great shape, and familiar players and good memories, so it's quite cool to be back. Looking forward to it. I think the previous week I played decent in Scotland. I think I finished like something top 15, so I had a good feeling of my game, but obviously you never prepared for 59, so that came as a surprise. But honestly, of the front nine, I don't remember much. Here the 7th, there was a back right pin, and I remember it was a little bit like uncomfortable distance. I remember my caddy said like, just hit a good pace. It's all about a good pace since we're this far. I ended up making a putt from here. It was a nice little lubber breaker, right to left and left to right at the end and middle of the hole. There was a nice little bonus here. Honestly, I have to say that I stayed in the moment pretty well throughout the whole day. And I didn't think about the score too much at any point, really, except the last hole when I was walking down the green and I was thinking, like, I was counting down, like, yeah, I have a putt for 58 there. So that was actually the only and the first time that I was thinking the score. But before that, I wasn't really thinking too much. I was just trying to make every shot as good as I could. When I was walking up the green, I got nervous and my hands were shaking. And the putt that I had was like downhill. And when your hands are shaking, the downhill putts, they somehow get a little bit faster. But it was still a nice tap in for 59, so it was kind of a good relief anyway. I remember the hill here on the left was full of people and my family and friends there. It's just one of those days, as we all know. Like sometimes you get these days, you just see every single line. You just get up to the green. You can look at the line and you just see, okay, that's the line, and I'm gonna go with that. And that was pretty much what happened all day.
29.30, 59 minus 12 today. Congratulations.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And a calm, collected Ruska saw the job through, cruising to a 7-shot victory to claim his maiden tour title, capping a fairy tale week. But what of the here and now? Who would take top honours in 2025? For the final round drama, it's back to Josh.
Andoni Echenike here on the par 3 fourth. It was 15 under par for the tournament up to this point. This lovely tee shot set him up for birdie. 27-year-old though. He led for much of the front nine, but a few drop shots on the back nine saw him slip into a tie for 5th, finishing at 13 under par for the week. Meanwhile, David Law was back at it with an impressive chip here onto the 4th green, setting up a very important birdie. Just what he needed after a bogey on the 3rd. Great bounce back. Back to our featured player, Jonas Blixt. Fantastic approach here at 5. He opened his round with back-to-back birdies, but a double bogey on 3 set him back before this shot on 5. And then he caught fire at the end of his front 9 with a hat-trick of birdies from the par 3 8th. In the meantime, Alfie Plant was enjoying himself with a great front 9. A superb approach here into the 9th, left him just short of an eagle, but it was an easy tap-in. For his 5th birdie, enough for the Englishman to take the lead. No top 10 all year for Alfie, and he was on fine form. A superb long birdie putt here on 11, which saw him move to 7 under for the day. No drop shots for the 33-year-old, putting him 1 shot clear of Blixt in contention for the title. Meanwhile, David Law was truly having a solid round of golf. Huge crowds out on Sunday, and this 3-wood off the par 4 13th tee would allow him to go And 2 putt for a birdie, putting the pressure on and leaving him just 1 behind leader Alfie Plant. Back to Blixt on the penultimate hole. Fantastic tee shot here on 17. Set up another important birdie to get him to 16 under par. The pressure was fully on for Plant at this point, leaving him no room for error. Nerves, however, seemed to get the better of him. Bogey on 15, and then this short par putt missed on 17 essentially cost him the HotelPlanner Tour title, which he's been looking for this season. Real frustration for Plant. One man who didn't seem to feel any pressure, however, was David Law. Blixt and Plant both bogeyed 18, and all that was needed for the Scotsman was a par. Fantastic approach on 18, however, set him up to finish in style and walk down to the applause of the Finnish crowds. Birdie finish in Finland for David Law, and he wins his second HotelPlanner Tour event this season. All smiles for Law, as he's now 1 step closer to that all-important 3rd win.
Confirmation of those final numbers then. Jonas Blixt rolling back the years and steering things home to 2nd place, shared with Alfie Plant at 15 under. There was another decent week for Frenchman Oyan Guillemondegui, but ruling the roost once again in a sensational summer stretch was Scotland's David Law.
You know, it was quite a tricky day. Obviously, you know that guys are going to come from behind. Alfie and Jonas played really well, obviously, so they put a lot of pressure on. So you kind of had to be aware of like what guys were doing around you. I'd love to win the rankings. You know, my main aim at the start of the year was to finish in the top 20 and get my card back for the tour. To win it now is obviously, you know, well within my grasp, and definitely the goal for the rest of the season I'm going to play.
So, a look at the Road to Mallorca rankings. And thanks to that 2nd win of the season, David Law is the man to catch now, assuming top spot in the standings. Further down, Nick Carlson's great week saw him upwardly mobile and into the top 20, timing his run well as we turn towards the final push in the next few weeks. And with that, we say farewell to Finland, where a Scotsman laid down the law and took a giant step towards the DP World Tour. Up next, the class of 2025 travelled 2,000 kilometres southwest to the Netherlands for the Dutch Futures, where the pursuit of promotion from the HotelPlanner Tour continues.